How is the BC election going to affect your home values and the health of the BC economy? Welcome to the Vancouver and Fraser Valley Real Estate Market Forecast and the RE/MAX reports. We're here to once again show you the monthly changes on all the markets in the Lower Mainland in all 22 cities on whether they're going up or down. But this time we have an election in play, and we got to look at the total debt of the province and how that's going to affect your values. So we've seen debt increase 320% since 1990. And let's have a look at the home prices, see how they changed. So here, since 1990, we've had a 315% increase in home prices. We've actually set some world records on continual increases in price values. Let's have a look. First of all, we'll just get a little bit closer here, and we see that Vancouver itself, from 1990 to 2000, during the NDP years, we actually had a 34% increase. Was strong for the first 4 years of the NDP government, and then it was after that it settled down and just a little bit, but that's not the true picture. Let's have a closer look at what happened in the provinces in Canada. Now, we were told we had the only recessionary period in pretty much North America, a maiden-own recession with the last NDP government. Toronto had, Ontario had its NDP government, and here the numbers dropped quite dramatically in Ontario and then recovered after the change of government. Now let's have a look at the BC housing starts. This is really what drives an economy, is the housing starts. So have a look. In Canada here in yellow, you can see our housing starts going from 1982 to current. Here in the NDP years from 1990, you can see in both the NDP in Ontario had a dramatic drop from less than half on their housing units in their 4-year tenure, and then recovered with the new government. And then here in BC, we had good years. The first 3 or 4 years, we actually had a nice increase up to 42,000 new homes. We could actually expect that with any government today, whether it be NDP or Liberal. The consumer confidence in British Columbia is actually pretty good. But look what happened in the last 4 years. We dropped down to 14,000 new housing starts in 2000. That would be pretty much a record low for several decades. Each new housing start represents 3 to 5 full man years of work. So this is a lot of employment in the province that is hurting because of the lack of new housing starts. That's a 66% drop. Now, how were we affected by immigration? Here in 1986 is when we had our expo, and look at the huge increase of immigration into British Columbia. We go from our 12,000 or thereabouts right up to 52,000 new immigrants coming to British Columbia every year. And a lot of that was money coming from immigrants from Hong Kong, and much of the expo lands were purchased and are still sitting empty as condos today after all of this time. So they were investors investing into British Columbia, bringing cash into the province. So that happened very, very heavily in 1990 all the way up to 2000, and then it settled down after that. From 86, here's Expo once again. Times got really, really good there with very few people leaving the province. But in 1996, we had a big spike where we basically doubled. We went up with a big increase from 5,800 to 9,400 people leaving the province looking for work, typically in Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Ontario. In the past, we've had many governments increase our debts here. This is a 50% increase from 17 billion to 32, 35 billion. This is another virtually double the increase in debt to over $50 billion again. And a lot of extra debt here with our P3 projects, with our private investors. And all of this is designed to, theoretically designed to help encourage businesses to hire more people, bringing more employment to the province. Let's have a look at the debt load on our current population. So right now that 50 billion at a 3% will increase to 90 billion if they don't work on paying it off. So we're asking for some accountability here. And if they lose the credit rating of AAA rating for British Columbia and even for Canada, our cost of borrowing could go as high as 6%. That would be a $160 billion debt in 20 years. These are our children and grandchildren that we're trying to protect. This would translate into $66,000 per each full-time employee of roughly 2.4 million employees in the province over a 20-year period. So you can see today anyone that offers an election bonus of several $1,000s as a bonus to you, you must understand that that is actually your money they're borrowing on your name to give it back to you. So it's not really a net win. We're hoping the governments here are accountable in their spending, and we want to see our employment actually increase in this province. So we did see price increases from 2000 until now, but we have certainly spent a lot of money to get here. The real key question is to have them be accountable in their spending. I'm Bill Coughlin from the Vancouver and Fraser Valley Real Estate Market Forecast, signing off and thanking you for taking the time, and call your politician to accountability on their spending practices. Thank you. Bye-bye for now.